Okay, you remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so to start off the class, some of you probably got a direct email from me. Did anybody not get a direct email that knows about the rest of the classes we're planning for each month? Okay, just 2 of you, 3 of you? All right, well, that's why your emails are now on here, right? So they'll be added to the list. Just to give a little bit more of my background, I'm a master herbalist, I'm an iridologist, and I wrote a couple of books which are over on that table. One is called Closer to the Sun, a recipe book for health for the next evolutionary phase of mankind, which leads us into this class, actually. But, and the other one is about wild edibles for survival and first aid, which has 100 plants. A lot of them are the most important ones in Florida, but it's not just Florida. And Cheryl here in the green, what do you call yourself, the president?
Oh, no, I'm a director. I'm just on the board.
Okay, she's on the board of directors for Slow Food, if you don't know about that organization, which is the opposite of fast food. You know, growing it yourself, making it yourself, eating it slowly. So she's constantly doing promotions for that, and we just recently had a potluck for that. So you can just being on the email list, you know, I'll let you know about these different things. And they just awarded me the Snail Award.
Snail of approval.
Which I didn't bring it because I don't know. It has like
That's an
dates.
International award, and you leave it home. Okay.
The Snail of Approval Award for, in the past, I started as the first organic CSA, which Rhonda here was a part of. And Rhonda owns the kayak place, if anybody's looking for kayaks.
Cool.
Throughout the class, we'll get to know each other, especially if you come monthly. We're really going to get to know each other. And I want this class to be fun. You know, somebody actually said to me, can you do a class just for fun, you know, with essential oils? This was brought to me. And that person is actually supposed to come in around 3. She was like, oh, I have guests over until 3 o'clock. So she's going to be, but it was her idea. And this was a couple months ago. And, you know, she kind of described to me what she wanted. She wanted a monthly class because she was having a lot of stress. You know, and is she in here, Sharon? Are you here? Okay. She actually broke down in the phone conversation. She was so stressed. And, you know, and I thought that was a great idea. Like, let's just do something for fun. And I don't think there's anything more fun than essential oils. Does everyone agree? Okay. How many people here already own different essential oils? At least 1 or 2 or whatever. Does anyone here have never used essential oils at all? Anybody? Okay. So everybody's kind of experimenting. And they should be in your toolkit of different things that you can go to when you have any ailments or for lots of reasons. We're going to cover all those reasons. There is just so much education to be had in this area, which, you know, there are classes in different cities, but I don't know if there's ever been one recently done with the series that I'm proposing that we do. So to get started, I'm going to hand out and just pass this around. I hope everybody has a pen, and if you can remember for every class, this is education, so to bring paper and a pen.
If you don't have a pen, let me know. I have pens.
But if you don't have paper either, there are going to be other handouts, but if you want a piece of paper
I have a notebook.
right now, I have a notebook too. I can hand out a piece of paper. Does anybody want a piece of paper? But in the future, bring, you know, if you want to bring a clipboard to write on, or
Paper?
hey, Pat. Or, you know, a notebook, actually, I think is a better idea, because then you keep it all in one place. And I have many, many notebooks. I'm the biggest note taker there is, and that's why I end up writing the books about the notes I've taken.
Never could listen and write notes at the same time.
So yeah, just have a seat. We're just kind of doing the introduction. So we're still waiting for the laptop. There's going to be some cool little things I want to show you on the big screen. But one of the questions I started out asking was, you know, what are essential oils? Why are they even called essential? Does anybody know? Besides some people. Does anybody know where the word essential comes from? Why are they called essential oils? Like, you take it for granted, right? But have you ever asked that question? They're needed.
I have an opinion, but I've never asked.
Yeah, you would think the reason was because they're needed, they're essential. But actually the reason is because they come from the essence of the plant. And being a master herbalist, I work with a lot of plants. you know, I have something here I'm going to pass out in a little bit. But I like to call like even juicing. Juicing is one of the most important things you can be doing for your body on a weekly, I'll say weekly basis. I'm not going to expect people to do it on a daily basis, but you should at least be doing it twice a week. And I call that the blood of the plant, the juice, because we're identical to plants up to the 32nd DNA strand. Human DNA is identical to plants. The only difference is where we have iron and hemoglobin, they have chlorophyll. Otherwise, we match. We need them in nature to survive, to exist. We need to eat plants. Without plants, they're the only thing that can change the sunlight into food, is the chlorophyll molecule. So I call the juice the blood of the plant, but the oils are the essence of the plant. So that's not, I don't consider that the blood, because you can actually do a blood transfusion with chlorophyll. You don't need human blood to do a blood, and it's actually a lot healthier for you. Because we are so identical, you would be getting such rich chlorophyll, which is the first line of the food chain. So the oils, like I said, are the essence of the plant. And one of the things I was researching is this little thing I found, which was 10 things you need to know about essential oils before you buy. Now, of the people in here, do you have any particular brands that you like the most? If you want to just call out some brands, which ones?
Young Living.
Okay, Young Living. Anything else?
Native American.
Okay, Native American. That's a good one. Anything else? Anybody else?
New Directions,
New Directions? Where are they out of?
Canada.
Oh. Okay, and then obviously we have some doTERRA people. Hi, come on in. So I was researching all this. I need to know the bottom line. I don't, just take things for granted. And somebody had the same questions, Are all essential oils created the same?
No.
What would you say the most important thing to look for when you're getting essential oils for yourself? There's a couple of different levels of types of essential oils. Organic, yeah, because we don't want to, of course, be putting pesticides and chemicals. We have enough of that in our environment. When you're trying to heal yourself, you want to have the purity. Okay, anything else that you look for when you're shopping? Like, what were your criteria?
Well, I know next time I bought some vanilla and there's no dropper. So I'm always getting way more than I want in there and way more than I need. So next time I look for some, I would want a dropper.
Okay, so
Dropper.
convenience
Yeah.
of use.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're not making a mess.
Price.
Price, absolutely.
What did you say, dropper?
She said a
Dropper.
dropper. So do you
Yeah,
think
I
that
dropper.
you get what you pay for with the price? Do you think that applies to essential oils?
Yes,
Probably.
definitely.
Has anyone tried other brands before you settled on the brand that you're with now? Have you compared any other brands?
Yes.
Yes? What brand did you compare?
It was BioSource Naturals. It was definitely not natural.
Like out of a health food store or something?
No, I ordered it online.
Oh. What did you notice about it that made you say that?
It just smelled like perfume.
Oh.
It didn't smell like, well, it was two oils that I've had a really hard time finding, and I found them. Oh, well, I'll try them. It was honeysuckle and gardenia,
Oh.
but they weren't. I could tell the second I opened them, they weren't real gardenia. It wasn't real honeysuckle.
That's probably another case, read the label and see what else is in it.
Yeah, because a lot of places, there is actually no governing body to say, everybody has the same standard. But over time, I mean, one of the biggest companies was Young Living, like years ago. I have a whole bunch of Young Living oils right here. And I mean, when I first learned about them, 15 years ago, I think, somebody told me about them. I just thought the whole concept was so amazing, especially with the abilities that essential oils have to do with emotions. There's not many things, besides like the energy work he does, with emotions, which that's one of the reasons I'm doing this whole series, to tell you the truth, is because people's emotions are very much tied to their physical problems. And if you're not gonna work on the emotional body, your physical problems are really gonna stick around a lot longer. So to speed up your healing process, we need to start working on the emotional issues, and essential oils are actually capable of doing that. And one thing, I guess I'll pass this around, but this is, you tell me what this is, but I guess if you say it out loud on the first person, then everybody's gonna know. So don't say it till everybody smells it, all right? So smell that. All right, that could take some time. So in the meantime, I'm gonna have you smell some other things. We're gonna start smelling different things. I'm gonna pass 2 other fragrances around, and you'll smell the first one, and then you smell the second one. And this has to do with a difference in, if you notice, a difference in quality, okay? So first, smell this one. We're gonna start with lime, and I want you to smell the orange as well. Oh, here comes our laptop. Hi. Okay, who is our tech person? Here we go. All right, let's hold off on the smelling of this one. Pass that other one around, because that's just the plant itself, dried. And I want you to see what the plant itself dried smells like before you even turn it into an oil. That's why I'm passing that one around.
And when I lived in St. Cloud, we had this little one of the old.
I am gonna have you smell this one though. This is
There was
orange.
a girl that used to sell
And,
fresh herbs.
Just feel what it smells like, okay? Not just smell it, but feel what it smells like. Feel what it feels to you. And the reason why I'm gonna read you what this does on an emotional level. To give you an idea, this isn't for this class, but I do want to give you some preparation to know what these are. Okay, this one going around is wild orange, which is called the oil of abundance. And this I'm getting from a book called Emotions and Essential Oil. Okay, so wild orange addresses a wide variety of emotional issues. It inspires abundance, fosters creativity, supports a positive mood, restores physical energy, and aids in transitions. And I'm just watching your reactions, because this one is one of my absolute favorites. And now that I'm using it, I hate when I don't have it in the car with me even. And they do have these little carry-on purses, and I'm gonna start using that. And actually, if other people wanna start using that, we can order them as a group and get a better price. Wild orange reconnects individuals with their inner child and brings spontaneity, fun, joy, and play into one's life. And if you start using this oil, I'm telling you, it will lift up your mood. So when you don't have it, I mean, you should, I really don't see why anyone would ever wear perfume if you can use an essential oil. Yes,
When you say start using this oil,
yes.
smelling it, putting it on your body, putting it in a drink,
All of those, all of those, yes, I'm doing all of those now. I had it in my water during the night. Okay, so at its core, wild orange teaches the true meaning of abundance. It encourages individuals to let go of scarcity mindsets with all of their manifestations, including fear, nervousness.
I think we're the edge.
She's trying to pass you off. Inflexibility, workaholism. Who in here is a workaholic?
Try not to be, but unfortunately I'm a little
Right?
more serious and I need to be.
You need something to calm that down. That you cannot exist on that. That's burning adrenaline power all the time, and you have to balance it out. This oil does that for me. Lack of humor and the belief that there is not enough. Wild orange reminds the soul of the limitless supply found in nature. Fruit trees like orange give freely to all in need. Wild orange teaches individuals to give without thought of compensation. In nature, there is always enough to go around. Wild orange encourages individuals to let go of their need to hoard, which is the epitome of scarcity.
I need that. You have a big
This oil, and there's another thing you're gonna find when we do the emotional thing. There's gonna be a variety you're gonna smell, You're gonna see which one attracts you the most, because that will be the thing you will read about in your emotions for why is it attracting you. Then the opposite of that is which one do you like the least? And then that has a similar thing. You would read about what is it about that you don't like, and that's supposed to be the parts of yourself that you have never worked on in your past that are unresolved emotional issues. And that's why you don't like it. It's reflecting that back to you. So the more you would use the oil, you would overcome, they would help you overcome those emotions. And there's a couple other exercises that go with that. But that's going to be a super fun class and a really important one, because things are changing on the planet, if you haven't noticed, and emotions are coming to the surface for a lot of people in intense ways. It's pushing emotions to the surface, what's happening energetically on the planet. They have measured the frequency of the planet is being raised higher. But if you're not keeping up with that raising frequency, which oils will also help you do, you're going to be kind of being artificially pushed to raise your frequency, and it's not going to be coming from the inside. It's going to be something from the outside, and that's what causes a lot of the emotional turmoil happening. So to keep up with that, we're going to go over some techniques on how to do it from the inside so it's real for you. It's not just something outer force doing this. And this is measured by scientists in NASA or whatever. I have that information on a YouTube that I've done in the past. So this is not just, airy-fairy stuff. This is scientific stuff. Faith actually is physics. It's been proven as a physics, because the faith of believing that something is going to, work out, as it's supposed to, good or bad, that faith is a higher vibration pattern than to always be, oh, nothing ever worked out for me. Why, why is this? Why me? That kind of thinking is lower frequency. So we're really gonna cover that. That might take more than one class, because if we can all get this part right on the emotions and helping ourselves with the smelling of the oils and the use of the oils, it will make things a lot smoother for the planet. And the more people, we're at the point now where we need more than just food. We're at the point where food has not, it used to probably be enough before 1900, the way the food was grown, but now they've changed it so much that, it's very nutrient deficient. Even organically, is still not hitting what food used to be. And that's why wild edibles actually are far more nutritious, because those are the plants as they naturally exist versus domesticated plants that we've changed and altered and bred out ingredients. But in this day and age, with what's happening on the planet, with pollution, with the environmental toxins, with this emotional bombardment, food is not enough anymore. And if nothing else, like I said, at least be juicing. And I have this wonderful juice recipe in that book. There's 200 other recipes with it to help you use food as medicine. But we've reached this is growth. This is a step up now in how you're going to help heal yourself, heal the planet, which is using essential oils. And it can do things that regular food alone cannot even come close to doing. I do use herbs. I'm a master herbalist. I mostly make tinctures, which are liquids, which, I'm experimenting. I know they work. So this is not a question for me of do herbs work. That's all I use is herbs. And I know that they work. And if you knew my history, you would understand why I'm saying that. But some herbs, like, okay, who knew what this was? What? Peppermint. Okay, do you smell that strong peppermint oil?
Yeah.
Now imagine if they, got that in a distiller and then purified it all the way down to just the essence of the plant. I mean, the plant smells strong just like this, right? Never mind an essential oil. Which is another thing we can do for ourselves, just to start smelling some other ones. I am gonna, let me just see one thing here. I passed around doTERRA, but I am gonna pass some other brands. All right, with the Young Living, I had a citrus blend. I did not have straight orange. But I'll pass these two around again, and you can compare, because I'll do this with the lemon. I'm gonna pass out more than one now, so we'll get this going a little faster. Oh, you do? So you use orange too?
I use it all the time for, bugs.
Do you have the DVD?
We have a DVD, but this isn't a DVD drive.
Oh, so you're trying to find it online?
I'm trying to find them online and they moved them.
Let's go ahead and just do the TV. Does that work for you?
That's okay, I'll give her 5 more minutes. Do you think you're
Yeah, I
gonna
mean, this
find
is
it?
one of the videos, but I don't know that I'm not finding them all, so.
Yeah, those are all on YouTube.
All right, well,
I've
we'll
been watching
start-
some of them.
Okay, so smell this one again first, the one you just did, and then smell this one, which is the citrus blend. And then I'm also gonna pass around the lime in 2 different brands. I'll do that opposite. So first smell the doTERRA, and then smell, here's another brand, this is Nature's Alchemy.
Ooh,
Okay, so you might
yes.
notice differences, and then I'll do lemon as well. Lemon. Smell the doTERRA
Need some
first,
coffee beans to
and then
sniffers.
the lemon. I mean, then the other one.
Yeah, you had the same reaction.
Yeah.
Which is first?
Okay, and
We sell
then
this next door.
that one's going around. Okay, now I'll do lemon. So again, this is Young Living lemon and doTERRA. Do the doTERRA first. So you might notice a difference, and we can see.
Lemon I know.
Definitely.
You can see the difference,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
And I was like, you know, Young Living is my oil, but when I did this comparison, there is kind of,
Yeah.
you decide yourself.
Yeah. There is no comparison.
Are they made with the same base oil?
Well, one thing, I mean, it just has to be said. Young Living was the one that was always, you know, had the biggest share of the market. I think probably what happened was people got greedy and started cutting corners with ingredients and how things were made. So over time, a group of people within Young Living said, you know, this is unacceptable. We want purity. We want the high standards. And those people broke off and formed doTERRA. So now, you know, nobody really knows. The thing about, for me, if you ever were in a relationship and somebody did something, you know, betrayed you, you kind of always have that wonder, are they going to do it again? And that's what I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying that they are, but I know doTERRA does have high standards because of what they went through. You know, they would never want to be in that position they put Young Living in. Why would they ever want another cluster to break off from them and say, you know, well, look what you're doing now, you know, because people nowadays want purity, they want high standards, especially if you're using this for medicinal purposes, especially if you're going to ingest it internally. It has to be a therapeutic grade, food grade essential oil, or you cannot do that. You will do damage to yourself with putting, you know, synthetics and fillers in. And there's no point. You're not going to get the spectrum of healing and the emotional components we're going to work on. But you are welcome to use the oils that you have. This is not a class that says you have to use doTERRA. We're just cutting to the chase here with which brands, you know, everybody probably would want to know, what do I prefer, since I'm teaching the class. And you can all have your own opinions. But we do need to address that issue, like what's the difference? So I'm giving you some samples. Another one I used to use all the time was eucalyptus. Not for me, my son. He always had sinus issues once a year in a certain time of the year. And so he used this, and if you smell this, it smells really strong, eucalyptus. But what I noticed, doTERRA has one that's called Breathe. And you're not gonna be able to do this today because I'm not really having people try these on your skin, so you wouldn't know this. But this smells really strong, but when you apply this one, it almost instantly is gone. Like you don't notice it. Where, again, I'm comparing, you know, that's what I do. I do research. doTERRA has one called Breathe, and I've been putting it like right here. There's two areas here on the sides of your nose that correlate to the thalamus part of your body, and we're going to talk about different places to apply the oils as well. Did you find it?
Yeah, they're not all in one spot. So like this is the CPTG ones. This is
What about
described.
the first one with all the...
Right. Yeah.
That
So
one?
they're just so there's this
Ones are
one,
these.
you know, introducing.
Like
This is the Ready for Anything.
The first one? Okay, so I just want to finish my
I
thought
wish we
here.
had a
So I
bottle of
started
that,
using,
so-
theirs is called Breathe. And, you know,
Bathe myself in.
I put it here, like I said, the thalamus, because I just, for whatever reason, I'm going through something. You know, we all go through different things. It could be because of the weather. It could be because of pressure in the atmosphere. You know, it could be because I'm cleaning something out, because I did do one of John's healers here, has a crystal amethyst biomat, and she asked, it detoxes you, and she asked me, you know, how long do you want to be on it and at what level? And I said, do it at the max for as long as possible. And instantly, my nose was stuffed up laying on that thing, and it's been kind of clearing ever since. So I started using this Breathe right in this area, and not really under my nose, where you would think you'd want to be smelling it. I put it on the sides right here and on here. But the Breathe, it'll last, you know, at least 20 minutes strongly, if not a half an hour. And that's another thing I tested. How long do they last? Not just how long, what smells better. And did everybody smell lemon, lime, and orange?
We're there.
Everybody? Okay. So that was another thing, like I said. So, you know,
Have you ever tried the soles of your feet?
yeah, oh, absolutely. All the time, one of the biggest places is you would put it on the bottom of your feet. And that's because there are the biggest pores there, but all the nerve endings also in the body end in the feet, and that's why people who do reflexology, you know, they say that it crystallizes there from the nerve energy from those organs, and you can clear up an organ just from doing the reflexology, and that was an area inside the inner part of your foot is the adrenal gland area. You ready to go? Well, let's take a break for a second. We'll watch one of these. I'll try to match these caps back up. And these are little 3-minute segments. So since we went to all the trouble to get the laptop and everything set up, let's take a listen.
I'm football here. It's Langstonville. Erica, you're right.
There's lights.
See the world. It takes everything we have to face it. Without a sound, we take a step. Inside our hearts are racing. If it takes forever, we'll get there together.
As we started using them with our families, specifically with our little kids, and saw how fast they work and how easy it was to be able to help all of our health, it was awesome. I fell in love with them. Now when my wife and I talk about the oils, it's like, what did we do before the oils?
Every time we use the oils, it's amazing because I know that no matter what I pick, even if it's not the very specific thing that they needed, I've still done something positive for their bodies. I love to diffuse the oils in my house. I use them throughout the day as pick-me-ups. I drink them in my water. I cook with them. I do my laundry with them. They're just everywhere.
To be able to have answers at our fingertips that are natural and safe that we feel even comfortable giving to our baby is something that gives us a lot of peace of mind.
I'm teaching them about a different way to take care of themselves. And it's leaving a legacy for them. Who doesn't want that for their children? Who doesn't want to teach that And when we began to use them and got results for ourselves and in our family and with people that we knew, I mean, that was amazing to us because we didn't even know that the power of essential oils existed.
It was amazing, you know, especially knowing what we had gone through and actually feeling for once that I was able to help my child, you know, every mom's dream. It was very empowering, and that was kind of my moment that I knew why I went to work.
It wasn't a couple days and I knew that these were amazing. And I was using them on my kids.
We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything.
I didn't know that I had another option. I didn't know that I could have the power or the choice. doTERRA has given me the ability to make those decisions and to see that you don't have to give up all of your power. You can actually do it yourself.
We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything. We're ready for anything.
Okay, so did I pass out that purple sheet? If you could take a second and fill in as much as you can about what classes you're most interested in and what your top 3 biggest health issues are, so we make sure we cover those. Did you want to say anything?
There's a video here about them explaining essential oils.
All right,
and then also the
we'll
difference.
play that while you're doing that, yes. Did anyone not get one of these sheets? Okay.
There are no wasted efforts in nature. The fragrance of a flower, the smell of an orange, or the scent of a pine tree all serves a specific purpose vital to a plant's survival. What our senses perceive as fragrances or scents are actually volatile aromatic compounds, tiny organic molecules that serve a variety of protective, reproductive, and regenerative purposes. These compounds help ward off unfriendly pests, attract friendly herbivores and insects, and even help the plant heal from infection and physical injury. There are over 3,000 identified varieties of aromatic compounds, each with its own unique and functional chemical constituents that provide different aromas and benefits to the plants. From the petals of a flower, to the leaves of a plant, the rind of a fruit, or the resin of a tree, these volatile aromatic compounds are all around us. Distilled directly from their plant sources, essential oils are multifaceted agents that have seemingly endless applications to our health and can be used aromatically, topically, or internally. Ensuring the maximum potency and beneficial properties of an essential oil are the result of maintaining the delicate ratio of aromatic constituents found in that essential oil, all of which can vary depending on the time of day or part of the plant which is harvested, time of year or life cycle when harvested, the geographic location, and whether where the plant was grown, or the method and even the duration of distillation. For that reason, it is vital that essential oils come from a trusted source committed to not only producing unadulterated essential oils, but to adhering to the strictest production protocols. There are no wasted efforts in nature. Neither should there be in the health care you provide for yourself and those you love.
All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions at this point?
The oils come from organic plants?
These oils, well, different places have their own places where they, Young Living, for instance, has a farm right there, which I have actually visited their plant in Utah, where they grow their own. doTERRA wanted to do things differently. They wanted to go to the source of where that plant would naturally be growing. And so they're coming from all different places of the world.
But
Like,
they're not planted,
no, they're not
wild.
planted, they're growing, like the lemon comes from Italy, the orange, does that come from Florida?
No, orange actually comes from Dominican Republic. So yeah, the doTERRA sources from where everything's grown indigenously with the right soil conditions, rainfall, sunshine, you know, where they don't have environmental toxins
But
and
not from
exhaust.
a farm, so to speak, it's just outgrown in fields.
I mean, they have not farms, but plantations, so to speak. I mean, it's nature, but it's not their lavender and then next to the peppermint, next to frankincense, next to melaleuca. Melaleuca comes from Australia, lavender comes from France, frankincense comes from Somalia. So they are in a, not a farm environment, but.
But they're overseeing it, doTERRA's overseeing it.
Right, doTERRA goes in and
growing
tests.
it.
Yes, yes, the natives are growing it. It's been in the generational, you know,
And they're
farms.
not using modern methods, they're using their own. That's what I'm after. is-
Right, they're not using pesticides, they're not using chemicals, it's all grown naturally.
Is that on the next slide?
Yeah, this video will explain it actually. And so you see here all these little bottles. What doTERRA did last year is they really wanted people to experience the difference of the quality of doTERRA. So they said if you send us in your bottle of whatever oil, we will send you a free bottle of doTERRA peppermint so you can experience the difference. So you'll see in the video, they lined them up along their campus and then showed how many bottles that different brands they got in from across the country, and they sent out free of charge a bottle of peppermint to every single person who sent in their oil.
Essential oils are both exciting and promising when it comes to taking care of your own and your family's health. Whether you're applying essential oils topically, enjoying the aromatic benefits through diffusion, or taking essential oils internally, the positive healthful effects of essential oils are boundless. That's why you want to ensure that essential oils you are using are capable of delivering on their promise. You want to make sure that you are choosing essential oils for their potency and their purity. A lot goes into making sure that essential oils are both potent and pure. Potency starts with the plant itself. The same species of plant when grown in different environments will vary in composition. When plants are grown in optimal soil, temperature, and climate, they produce a higher quality essential oil, just as nature intended. But that's only half of the equation. Purity plays a major role as well. Many essential oils available to purchase are not certified pure. Often they contain synthetic fillers or other elements that dilute and alter the purity. This diminishes the healthful qualities of the oil. doTERRA is committed to providing the purest, most potent essential oils possible. We employ a global network of farmers who know intimately the process of growing plants for essential oils. They ensure the plant is taken care of properly, harvested at the proper stage. doTERRA has also perfectly melded modern advances in testing procedures to ensure the purity and efficacy of each essential oil. Every doTERRA essential oil is put through the highest standard of rigorous and thorough testing. This testing protocol, CPTG, certified pure therapeutic grade, sets the bar for quality, purity, efficacy, and consistency. When an essential oil is deemed worthy to be sold as a doTERRA essential oil, you'll know that it has the highest quantity of active, beneficial constituents and that it is free of contaminants and adulterations. Because at doTERRA, we know the same care and attention, as well as the same commitment to only provide the very best is not unique to us. They're the same qualities you employ when taking care of those you love the most.
So you can see doTERRA takes their testing very seriously. They test 9 different ways, far beyond any other essential oil company. Most will do mass spectrometry and gas chromatography, just 2 ways of testing, and that's it. They might test random batches, they don't test everything. And so doTERRA, like I said, they look at it from 9 different ways. They test 5 times. They test when the oil is first distilled, when it comes into the bottling plant after it's bottled. They save, they have lot numbers on everything so that if somebody were to question something with their oil, they think that it doesn't smell quite right or isn't working quite right, they keep every batch behind so that they can retest it and stuff. So they take that extremely seriously to provide the quality. And they will not cut corners or compromise. For instance, right now, doTERRA is out of Melissa oil and Roman chamomile because the crop got damaged. The Melissa, there was too much flooding. And so when they went to test the oil from that crop, the chemical, the chemical compositions were off. And so they said, sorry, we're not going to purchase that from you. We can't use that. And so unfortunately, Melissa only comes into season twice a year, which means we have to wait 6 months and hope that it replenishes itself and it gets back to the right numbers. And there's many stories of when we reject the oil that there's many other oil companies that'll be like, no problem, we'll take it. That's fine.
What's a Melissa?
Melissa is a form of lemon balm, and so it's very somewhat rare, expensive oil. You need a lot of the plant in order to get a little bit of oil. So
But
it
it's
has
not
a
a
very
blend.
small. It's what?
It's not a blend.
No, it's not a blend. It's a single oil, but it's in the lemon balm family. And it is one of the pricier oils, so it's powerful oil. So it's very sad that we don't have it right now. But again, like I said, there's no compromising.
We can go to the next one. The next one's where they talk about all the. I'm going to pass out some books and things that you can start to look through, because really, if you really want to get into this, you need some resources at your fingertips. One of them that is really great is this book. It just came out last month. So just kind of flip through it to get a feel for, how the layout, and it's a beautiful, gorgeous book. And if everybody, whoever was interested, there's recipes in here too, which actually we'll be making in these classes. We can do a quantity thing. So that's the power of group stuff. We can do quantity stuff.
Is this the same book as doTERRA had, or is it?
No, this is a brand new book.
I have the other one.
It's a brand new book specifically written for doTERRA products, but
That's
yet
what I
doesn't
have.
reference doTERRA.
Oh, okay.
Because of the way the FDA doesn't recognize essential oils as drugs, we can't put in a book that peppermint is good for a headache, because a headache is a disease and peppermint would take you from sick to well. So the book is written neutral, so it just says lavender, peppermint, and then if anything's a blend, like she had mentioned Breathe being our respiratory blend, it would just be referenced as respiratory blend in the book, even though that's our Breathe. But it kind of makes the book brand neutral. But and other companies have respiratory blends too, but they wouldn't contain the exact same.
Actually, the other doTERRA book that.
The Modern Essentials book?
Yeah, I almost brought it with me,
Well,
but I
the
didn't.
Young Living book that is awesome, that I had gotten 15 years ago, which talks about all these emotional things, which I loved about it, and frequencies. It's actually word for word in the doTERRA, the Modern Essentials book. It's word for, except they have a couple more words because they must have updated it, because mine is from 2001 or something.
The Modern Essentials book comes out every year as doTERRA at convention. They launch
Yeah,
new
so I was
products.
wondering, it
The new
didn't have
book
the
adds
same
it in.
author though, even though the wording was identical.
Really?
But like I said, doTERRA people came from Young Living, so that would kind of make sense. All right, so we're going to go to there's a kit you can buy, and I'm just bringing this up now because that's what this one thing is going to cover, this next section. It's called the Family Physician Kit. It's kind of like if you want a medicine box, all put together for you with a good sampling, so you can start experiencing different ones. And as this is describing why they chose these particular ones, just to give you a price break and, have a little collection to start with, I'm going to pass them around so you can smell them. And I believe the first one they're going to start with is frankincense. And I just want to tell you something about this one oil though.
It smells.
Is because the thing about groups also is we will get to compare experiences as we have them. And something that you don't have a problem with, somebody else might, and somebody else has found a solution. I was really interested to hear, I've been kind of going around the state a little bit, to different meetings to see what people's experiences are, because I am exploring this, we're doing this together. And I was shocked I mean, not shocked, but I was pleasant, happy to hear that someone had gotten rid of high cholesterol just by using lemongrass in a capsule form. Because if it's food grade and it's therapeutic grade, you can take it internally. And how many people are on high cholesterol? In my, as an iridologist, I take people's pictures of their eyes and I can see all the organs and conditions in the body. And for cholesterol, all I ever talk about is don't eat animal products, use more garlic, more ginger. They're foods really more than herbs. But lemongrass, this person had a testimonial saying in 4 months she had gotten her cholesterol down just by taking lemongrass in a capsule. You can make your own capsule. That's fun too. We can do that for one of our classes. And you put them in the capsule so you're not you can put them under your tongue as well, but with lemongrass. So that was really interesting to me. But frankincense, which she's going to talk about, I didn't really realize how great it is for cancer. I mean, that is our big issue now. They're saying cancer is going to triple in the next 10 years, and it's already 1 in 2, as far as I'm concerned. They're building more cancer hospitals, anticipating this big surge of cancer patients in just the next 10 years, triple, and it's 1 in 2. So, if, we're not finding some way to help ourselves, with cancer. Frankincense, I've got this little thing which I can send you. I could not believe testimony after testimonial after testimonial of all different kinds of cancer. Skin cancer, internal organs, brain cancer, having these remarkable success stories. And we can talk more about that, but let's let this play, and I'll start passing these around, because I think smelling is one of the funnest things about being in an essential oil class. What's the point of being in person if we can't smell them? So hopefully I have that.
See? Oh, yeah.
So,
One of the most prized and precious essential oils,
I'll go this way.
frankincense, has extraordinary internal and external health benefits. Frankincense is used for soothing and beautifying properties. Frankincense rejuvenates the skin and reduces the appearance of scars and stretch marks. As the king of essential oils, frankincense is known to promote cellular health and immunity and can be consumed daily for these internal benefits. Frankincense also promotes a healthy inflammatory response. When inhaled or diffused, frankincense induces feelings of peace, relaxation, satisfaction, and overall wellness.
is that it on that one? Okay, because let me just read you some of these, because it was mind-blowing to me. This is an article put out by The Real Pharmacy, the F-A-R-M-A-C-Y pharmacy instead of the other one, the drug one. Okay, so this guy, he says here, Joe Battaglia, even scientists now recognize the power agents that exist within some essential oils which stops cancer spreading and which induces cancerous cells to close themselves down. Their disease-preventing ability is no longer doubted, especially for cancer. And just to talk about frequency real quick, a healthy body from head to foot typically has a frequency ranging from 62 to 78 megahertz. Has everybody heard this? Disease is related to frequency. Mm-hmm. If you're low frequency, you're going to have more diseases. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nobody, who has not heard this? Mm-hmm. Okay, so we're going to cover this more, but just know that. Nikola Tesla, have you heard of him? Yeah. Okay, he did a whole bunch of that kind of research. During some testing with frequency and the frequency of essential oils, it was measured that holding a cup of coffee dropped one man's frequency from 66 hertz to 66 megahertz to 58 megahertz in just 3 seconds, just holding a cup of coffee. And it took 3 days for that frequency to return to normal. So I'm actually a big anti-coffee thing. I did a whole YouTube on that also. But, so they did testing on the antibacterial potency of frankincense, as well as in vitro toxicology against human cancer cells. Brian Tanio of Tanio Technology and head of the Department of Agriculture in Eastern Washington University has developed a calibrated frequency monitor that has been used to measure the frequencies of essential oils and their effect on human frequencies when applied to the body. There's also one at Johns Hopkins University. So this is big time being studied. And they're measuring frequency in relationship to disease. Cancer starts when the DNA code within the cell's nucleus becomes corrupted. It seems some essential oils have a reset function. It can tell the cell what the right DNA code should be at the DNA level. But, you know, again, it depends on what kind of essential oil you're using. It says most are of poor quality, synthetically produced and diluted with alcohol and other additives. To be effective, only 100% pure, therapeutic grade quality essential oils must be used, otherwise you will not obtain the health benefits. And in addition, you need to change the combination. When you're not using a high frequency, you gotta rotate them. You can't keep using the same one either. So beyond a doubt, certain frequencies can prevent the development of disease and other frequencies would destroy diseases. There's actually a machine, supposedly, that, you know, Nikola Tesla had invented for this. But therapeutic grade essential oils begin at 52 and go as high as 320 megahertz. And does anyone know what the highest one is? Rose oil. That's why it is so expensive. Helichrysum is not in this grouping, but that one is 181. Frankincense is 147. Okay, and again, most humans are between 62 and 78.
So what does that do? You got a big frequency and a normal person frequency. So what's going on?
John would like to answer that.
Well, 6 cells in your body vibrate at a certain frequency. The body's like an orchestra. So if you can find an agent or an entity that raises the vibrational level up
Of the body.
of the body, of the cells in the body will duplicate that. Sometimes it will maintain it. If you do it on a regular basis, it will hold that frequency. Okay? So it's spawned an entire growth industry. We have machines, we have bracelets, we've got all kinds of biomass, stuff like that. You know, one of the easiest ways, go walk by the ocean, walk through the park, make it a regular thing. Sound healing, there are so many different ways to restore healthy vibrational patterns in your body.
Even music, by the way,
Yeah.
listening to uplifting music, if you're not doing that and you're feeling depressed someday, put music on, because this is important to be conscious of raising your frequency, because we'll get into that more in another one. All right, so let's go to the next one, lavender.
So we're raising our frequency just sitting in here.
Cherished for centuries.
Uplifting
with
conversation.
unmistakable aroma, Lavender has many therapeutic
this plays.
There's a lot of music went into this.
Lavender's
place,
ability to
raise
calm
vibrational.
and soothe the mind and body continue to be one of the most notable qualities of lavender.
Lavender is 118 megahertz.
Applying lavender to the back of the neck and to the temples helps reduce muscle tension, while inhaling lavender promotes relaxation and a restful night's sleep, making it ideal for diffusing at bedtime or when stress is high. With so many benefits and versatility, lavender is a must-have oil that you should have on hand at all times. Lavender is calming and relaxing. It is soothing for occasional skin irritations. The aroma can also help ease tension.
Okay, obviously lavender is one of the most common ones. It's fun when you can combine things, like usually, there's also some great diffuser out there that you can, be putting this into the air, and you can combine like lavender and orange and peppermint. I mean, I just think.
Can't you become immune to it if you use it too much?
Well, that's the difference with plants versus synthetic chemicals and drugs, is like the bacteria, let's just use that as an example. That's why we have superbugs, because they're becoming resistant to antibiotics. But in a plant, they have so many constituents going on that are way too complicated for any type of mutation or immune response, unless it's synthetic. That's like what this was saying, which again goes back to if it's chemicals. Then you can overdo something and have to switch to get the same effect and switch back. But when it's pure and it's the whole plant involved, it's just way too many they call them, there's a word for it, which I have in another, I have it in that book. I'll go get it while this next one is playing.
Can I interject something real quick?
Sure, yeah.
Sure, great. I just wanted to, I'll just introduce myself real quick. So this is my wife, Erica. Erica has been involved with doTERRA for a couple years now. And lavender was just one of the oils that really opened my eyes to doTERRA or to essential oils or even to natural medicine at all. And I'll share my experience with you. I was married before Erica. I have a young daughter, and I was a single father for many years before I met Erica, so she was my life. And she came to me one day with some bumps on her knee, and I was not very compassionate. I told her to rub some dirt in it or something because, you know, it would go away was kind of the concept that I had. They started to actually became more and more, they were spreading amongst her knee. So I finally said, okay, we'll go to the doctor and find out what it is. It was very simple. It was a simple molluscum, which is a waterwort, which is very common. And what was happening was with her shaving her knee, it was spreading across her knee. And again, it wasn't detrimental to her health, but it was more cosmetic than anything else. And I took her to the doctor. I had very good health insurance. The doctor diagnosed it what it was. We had three options. We could either burn or freeze them off, which is the most common method probably amongst removal. We could do nothing, and they would probably go away within the next 12 months.
If she stopped shaving her knee.
If she stopped shaving her knee, which is what I voted for. I voted for that option. The third option was we could get a prescription for an ointment, and they said it may or may not work. And I said, well, let's go ahead and go with the prescription of the ointment. We went ahead and got the prescription. I went to fulfill it. I asked them for the cost before with my insurance, and it was $283 for this little tiny thing of ointment. And I went to my wife, well, I actually went to my daughter, and I said to her, and Erica was very new in doTERRA, and as I said, I was not interested in any type of natural health care at that point. So I looked my daughter in the eye, and I said, we need to go home, we need to look in Erica's book, we need to figure out what we need to do. And I said to my daughter, when that doesn't work, I'll come back and spend the $282 on the ointment. So we went home, Erica looked in the book, figured out that lavender was actually the least expensive option as far as, because we always recommend trying the least expensive option first. A bottle of lavender is $21. So we gave her probably an eighth of a bottle of lavender in a little sample bottle and gave her instructions to dot it on them, and within 2 weeks they were all gone and they've never come back. It was absolutely amazing. So I say I needed at least 3 experiences. That was probably the first experiences that made me realize that this is actually a real thing and does work. So sorry to interrupt, but
No,
yeah, that was...
I'm glad you did. Does anyone else have any experiences with frankincense or what was the other one we did already?
Frankincense, lavender.
I mean, like I said, I could read some of these. Let me just read one. Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah. I had a wart on my finger, and like it was unnatural because I guess I just from stress and like finals, and it never went away. Like it just grossed me out. I never wanted to shake hands. I never wanted to high five anyone anymore, and especially at school and writing with my right hand, it even hurt a lot. And I put the lavender on there, and you have to be consistent. If you don't, it's not gonna work, obviously.
Like how many times a day would you do?
I did it like twice in the one in the morning, one at night. It just would drop, and I put a Band-Aid over it so it can stay with it. And after not even a week, I saw it. It was concaving itself out of my finger.
Yeah, like,
and it
like a
completely
core to
healed
it.
right over. You can see like maybe a little dot where it was, but it's completely gone. And it's I don't get any of those anymore. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's powerful stuff.
The doctor said she could dig it out and get to schedule an appointment, cut it out.
For the copay?
Copay, yeah.
It was like $400 by the time we got done, but I'm going, she's like, I'll be cut on.
I know. Sometimes